Which article deals with amendment procedure of Indian Constitution? Article 368, and it is mentioned in Part 20 of the Constitution. In this way, Article 54 deals with election of President, Article 155 deals with appointment of Governor. Who is entitled to initiate a bill for constitutional amendments? Either houses of Parliament. It can be initiated in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The first amendment to the Indian Constitution was made in 1951, and by this amendment 9th schedule of the Constitution was added. GST was introduced through which Amendment Act? 101st Amendment. By which Amendment Act the fundamental duties of the citizens are included in the Indian Constitution? 42nd Amendment Act. And by this amendment, Part IBA of the Constitution was added. Which amendment inserted the term socialist in the preamble of Indian Constitution? 42nd Amendment Act. By this amendment, the term socialist, secular and integrity was added in the preamble of Indian Constitution. Which of the following amendments is called mini constitution? 42nd Amendment Act. Friends, it is called mini constitution because there are lots of provision in the constitution was amended by this amendment act. These are some of the important points that was amended by the 42nd Constitution Amendment Act. It added 3 new words in the preamble of the constitution. They are socialist, secular and integrity. It added fundamental duties for citizens of India. It curtailed the power of judicial review of the Supreme Court and High Courts. It raised the tenure of Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly from 5 to 6 years. These are some of the important points about 42nd Amendment Act. Which amendment restored the power of judicial review to the Supreme Court and High Courts? 43rd Amendment. In which year was 44th Amendment Act passed? 1978. By this amendment, original term of Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly restored to 5 years. Secondly, it deleted right to property from the list of fundamental rights. Which constitutional amendment eliminated the right to property from the list of fundamental rights? 44th Amendment Act. By this act, right to property was inserted as a legal right in Article 300A of the Constitution. Which of the following amendments reduced the voting age from 21 to 18? 61st Amendment. And friends, it was brought in 1989. Which Constitutional Amendment Act gave constitutional status to the Panchayat Raj institutions? 73rd Amendment Act of 1992. In this way, 74th Amendment Act of 1992 gave constitutional status to urban local bodies or municipalities. In this context, 2 new schedules of the Constitution was added, Schedule 11 and Schedule 12. Schedule 11 deals with the Panchayat Raj institutions and Schedule 12 deals with the municipalities or urban local bodies. Which part of the Indian Constitution talks about the panchayats? Part 9. And friends, Part 9A deals with the municipalities. The 52nd Amendment to the Constitution of India is related to Anti-defection law. It came in 1985 and it is mentioned in the 10th schedule of the Constitution. Which act enabled the Parliament to establish a common high court for 2 or more states? 7th Amendment. 74th Amendment of the Constitution related to urban local self-government or municipalities. Which language was added in the Indian Constitution by 21st Amendment Act? Sindhi. Friends, Konkani, Manipuri and Nepali was added by 71st Amendment Act of 1992. Border Dogiri, Maithili and Santali was added by 92nd Amendment Act of 2003. Which constitutional amendment provided for the setting up of administrative tribunals in India? 42nd Amendment. Which was the lengthiest amendment to the Constitution of India? 42nd Amendment. Friends, it is also known as the mini constitution. Which constitutional amendment introduced 10% reservation for economically weaker section of the society? 103rd Amendment. 101st Amendment deals with the introduction of GST. 104th Amendment removed the reserve seats for Anglo-Indian community in the Lok Sabha and State Assemblies. And 100th Amendment deals with the exchange of territories between India and Bangladesh. Which of the following constitutional amendment provided for the right to education? 86th Amendment Act of 2002. By this amendment, elementary education was made a fundamental right and it was inserted in Article 21A in the Constitution. The 24th Amendment Act deals with fundamental rights. Friends, 24th Amendment Act affirmed the power of Parliament to amend any part of the Constitution including fundamental rights. Which amendment made it mandatory for the President to give his assent to the constitutional amendment bills? 24th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1971. By which amendments of the Constitution the term cooperative societies was added? 97th Amendment Act of 2011. Friends, it made the right to form a cooperative society as a fundamental right and it inserted in Article 19 Clause 1 Clause C of the Constitution and it added new Part 9b in the Constitution. Which amendment abolished the titles and special privileges of the former rulers of princely states? 26th Amendment Act of 1971. Which amendment of the Constitution converts the Union Territory of Delhi into the National Capital Region of Delhi? 69th Amendment. Which amendment provided for an authoritative text of the Constitution in Hindi language? 58th Amendment Act of 1987. Which of the following are incorporated into the Constitution by an amendment? Fundamental duties. Friends, it was added by 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. Sikkim was made an integral part of India under the 36th Amendment. Friends, 10th Amendment deals with the incorporation of Dadra Nagar Haveli. 12th Amendment deals with the incorporation of Goa and Daman and Diu. 14th Amendment Act deals with the incorporation of Puducherry. By which Constitutional Amendment Act Goa was made a full-fledged state with a state assembly. 56th Amendment Act of 1987. And friends, Nagaland was given a status of a state by 13th Amendment Act of 1962. The Parliament can amend the Constitution by way of all of these: by addition, by variation, by repeal. By which amendment OBCs have been given 27% reservation in the admission to educational institutions. 93rd Amendment, which amendments bifurcated the combined national commissions for SCs and STs into two separate bodies. 89th Amendment Act of 2003. It divided National Commission for SCs and STs into National Commission for SCs and National Commission for STs. Which of the following statement is false regarding the Constitutional Amendment Bill? It requires prior permission from the President. Friends, Constitutional Amendment Bill does not require any prior permission from the President. This bill can be introduced by a minister, can be introduced by a private member, and there is no provision for holding a joint sitting, and it does not require any prior permission from the President. Procedure laid down for amendment of Indian Constitution is based on which constitution of world? It is synthesis of UK and USA Constitution. It means this amendment is neither as easy as in UK nor as difficult as in USA.